Guys, this video is going to be ADD central. We're going to work on that, and just do some other crap. So hang on tight. So I had some little stains on the floor there, on the garage floor. And I look back here, and this is got a little bit of a leak right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. I can see if I have a barbed, if I've got a barb fitting there, I don't even need, I put on that AM hose just because I thought it looks cool. But the reality is I don't really need it. I don't really need it for that car because that's low pressure right there. It's not under like high pressure or something. It's just kind of low pressure. So let me see what I got here in my drawer. Y'all want to see my busy looking drawer? All my extra AN fittings. You know how it is. You go on Amazon, you order some, you put them away, you lose them, then you look for more. See, there you go. Got one right there that's perfect for 3/8. So I'm just gonna swap that out. I got a lot of 3/8 fuel line right here. Got a whole bunch of it left over from the wagon right there. So, oh, and by the way, I drove this thing, backed it out, turned it around the driveway, and drove it back in, and it did fine. I need to hook up an ignition today to the coil. I'm just running a hot line, so I got to get out of the car and pull the brake lever. So let me pop this out real quick, and we'll get fixing on it. Oh, another thing I gotta do to this thing, I've got a vacuum leak up front, which we'll be working on later today. I don't know how good y'all can see that. I've got to pull this off the cover. Already got the battery unhooked. Got to pull this off. I'm gonna do these right here. So the issue is, I guess I should tell you that first. The issue is I got a vacuum leak. So down, you see where my finger is down there? Probably can't. Let me get a flashlight. All right, let me show y'all where I got a vacuum leak. I've got, so you see down there, right in here, on that center iron, there's injectors, and I've got some old injectors just stuck in there and you know, covered up. But what's happening is the seal at the bottom is leaking. So when you spray down there, you can hear the engine bog down. So I got a plug kit from Tricks. You can see right in there. So I've got a kit from Tricks. So I'm going to pull off this sniper. I'm going to pull the sniper off. Well, not the sniper. I'm going to pull the whole manifold off because I got to take it off anyway to get underneath it. So I'm going to get that taken care of, and then work on getting the leak fixed. All right, so I'm going to remove this first. I got this camera rigged up really kind of iffy. So let's get this off here. This rotary's been so much fun in this car. I'm going to get some gas leaking when I undo these, but that's just so sad, too bad, right? Okay, got that out of the way. Now y'all can see a little bit better. It's leaking right there. And I'll show y'all more once I get the rest. Let me get all this stuff unhooked here. The two fuel lines, and then I might be able to leave all that hooked up and just move that over. So let me try that first. But let me get the fuel lines undone because they are going to be in the way. Just like that. Let me show y'all what I'm doing. Let me get my hands wiped off. All right. So I've got that's the intake. Hey, there's the bolt. Look, when I dropped right there. Hello. Anyway, I got to clean this up. These are the two injectors that are leaking. They're not hooked up, but they're leaking air. I've got a block off kit I got from Who the heck did I get that from? From Mazda Tricks. So I'm gonna get that put on there and then get this thing buttoned back together. Obviously I got a new gasket for it. I'll show you all this after I pull these nuts off of here, or these bolts out, what this is. So this is just basically a plug that I made. I had to shave the bottoms off, and more than likely when I left those holes, that's where it's been leaking, which means it's always leaked, which kind of par for the course with me. That's fresh gas in there, that's good. Okay, let me get these O-rings out, and then I'm gonna go look at that Mazda kit and see what it looks like. These little things are your friends for this kind of stuff. Got those out. Now let me go get that. Let me get that kit real quick. All right. Y'all can see. This is that kit. Man, it is scorching in here. I need to get a fan going. I'll do that here in just a second. Obviously, that's the plate. These are the two. They're just aluminum slugs is all they really are. And then the bolts to put them in. So they're pretty simple. Let me see how they're gonna fit. All right, that's tight. So this is what it looks like. I got that on. That's the block off plate. Now I'm just gonna clean all this gasket stuff off and put the new gasket on it and put it back together. And hopefully everything will work fine. And I'll shut the door to start it, obviously shut the house door. We don't want all this stuff, all these fumes going in the house. I don't think Rebecca would be very happy with me if that was the case. So y'all see me? Woo! Okay. So anyway, they had that Cars for Kids, and I saw like an 88 convertible RX-7. Got it for 500 bucks. I was just gonna use the motor for a core. We pulled the motor, it was like just rebuilt, never even started. Everything was brand new in it. And I'm guessing it was someone's project car and they never got around to, you know, maybe they passed away or something. But anyway, I got a brand new rebuilt motor for 500 bucks, and then I sold the car. All the parts are about 500, so it was like $0. So it's kind of worked out for me. That's the first. So what I've been working on is getting all the intake and intercooler stuff hooked up on this. I found this came with my intercooler, and I found that this is obviously some of the PVC or PCV system. I bought a Subaru intake duct right here. I bought a Cobb cold air intake. So anyway, so y'all saw what I'm doing out there. So I've got, this came with the car, this Mamba whatever, or I don't know where the heck I got it from actually. And then this is a factory one I bought at Subaru. The problem is getting it on is such a pain, man, because this hits, that hits. I don't want to take the intake off just to remove this. So I'm gonna keep jacking with it. And if it's too much of a pain, I'm just gonna take this back, put this one on. They both do the exact same thing. I'm gonna be running stock power, so I don't really even need all this extra intake. But then I've also got the cold air. Oh, by the way, this says if you live in California, this product will give you cancer. And if you don't live in California, you won't get cancer. So if you live in California, don't eat this. Anyway, so I'm gonna kind of decide what I want to do with these. And kind of see how it all works out and gets together. All right, guys, finally back out here in the garage. Y'all saw me last week or so fix up the vacuum leak on there. Sucker's just screaming. And the ongoing issue I have is sometimes I start it and it just blows out blue smoke even after it's warmed up. But then if I take off and just, man, run it to 10,000 RPM a couple times, it quits smoking, and it may not smoke again for 2 weeks and then start. So the deal is the motor's running so good. Still getting over COVID. The motor's running so good, I don't want to take it apart just for that, because it's kind of random and it's just running real good. And the worst thing you do is take apart a good running motor. Ran around this thing today. I get, you know, this thing is so dang quick. Not quick off the line. I mean, it's got some power, but you're on the freeway and you can easily hit, I mean, easily, you look down, you're doing like 95, 100 miles an hour. Is that smooth on the road, real stable. And also what I've been doing is I put these hoses on it, and the reason they're so long is this radiator is going to get moved forward and down once I get the body, and I don't want to waste any hose. But I have a water leak right around this nut right here, so I'm going to pop that off in a minute. I also got down in there, you see that little hole thingy right there, that's for the oil pressure sensor. And for some reason they decided, I think it's 1/8 British or British pipe thread. So I got a British pipe thread to NPT adapter coming. And I've also got, the quad gauge like I have in both my cars. The quad gauge coming, so I can go ahead and put the oil sensor in it. I leave for Europe next Friday for a couple weeks. Me and my fiance are going. And so when I get back is when we're going to try to get this thing started. I've got everything done to it. I've got the stuff I even didn't need to do. This stuff, I've got the intercooler hooked up. I've got everything done on it. Everything's hooked up. PVC system or PCV system. I haven't put oil in it yet. I got some, let me show you the oil I got. And this is always a great way to start a controversy. I got, right there. Some people say just run normal 1040 oil to get it cranked up for a minute or two, then drain it. I'm gonna go ahead like I've always done and put in braking oil. Let it run. I don't know, maybe a couple, 3, 4, 5 minutes. Drain it out. And then I'm gonna put the new oil in it. And then I'm not gonna drive it, obviously, because I still have to get a body for it, and I might have found a free body, and so we'll see here when I get back from Germany. But also when I put the body on, what I'm thinking about doing with the fenders, because the stock ones will probably come in about right here, so I was thinking about slicing the fender and putting a piece of metal in it, moving up and then kind of down, so it kind of wraps around. At least that's what I'm envisioning in my head, so we'll see how that goes. But something I got to fix today on this thing, I think I'm going to a Mazda rotary meet tonight, and something that drives me bananas is when I'm driving along. You hear that? And I fixed it once and I didn't fix it good, so I'd like to go ahead and I'm going to pull this in the garage, get that fixed up. Other than that, that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm waiting on Jim. When Jim gets here, Dorothy's is going to have to kind of go to a memory care facility. She keeps running away and it's getting dangerous and it's just sad. So Jim's going to be moving in with us probably because he needs the companionship, and he and I got to run. We're going to cook dinner tonight together. Then he and I are going to run out to my sister's tomorrow and hang pictures, and it just keeps him busy. And Dorothy's only going to be a few minutes away, so we can bring her here on the weekends or whatever. And that way Rebecca doesn't have to keep going back and forth to Denton because the police have Dorothy. So a lot of y'all know that that's something that just happens with some people when you age, right? They're both 87. So they're up there, you know, and Jim just really enjoys doing stuff. So let me get cranking. I'm gonna go get this thing moved in. I've already kind of blown everything out. Get that out of the way, get that moved in. Oh, and then I've got these RX-8 rotors. So I had these RX-8 rotors cut for 13B seals. Got the balanced E-shaft and weights. And I keep going back and forth. Do I want to sell this stuff? Do I want to keep it and build another? I've got some really nice Bridgeported irons down here. All I need is a couple of housings. Do I just want to build another motor? If I do, what the heck am I going to put it in? That one runs so good, I don't want to pull it out, except, well, it kind of smokes, so maybe that's not a bad idea. That one just runs dang good, and I don't want a Bridgeport in that. It's got enough power as it is. It's in that sweet spot of enough power to be fun. It's probably 180, 190 horsepower, 170 maybe. Enough power to be fun, but not enough power to get into trouble really quick. So anyway, so let me quit yakking and get cranking on this stuff. Alrighty. One thing that's been nice is we got the 64. Y'all remember the 64 AMC wagon? We raised 14,000 bucks for Autism Speaks for that thing. If y'all hadn't seen the video of the drive, holy crap, man! The first 118 miles took us 7.5 hours. We broke down so many times, but then we, throwing belts and all kinds. So that's a great video. Anyway, let me get over here. I'm gonna. One of the things I got to do to this car is I need to rewire it. My wiring, it's new wiring. It looks like, y'all can't see it, but it looks like holy hell. It got spliced 18 billion times, and then I had a fire, and then it caught on fire, and then it burned the wires. I had to splice them, and they were too short. So anyway, let me get my stuff going to pull that off. All right, guys, kind of in the sun. I think if I put y'all over here, it'll be worse. That ain't too bad. Oh, well, guess what? I gotta jack the car up. Big dummy. So let me get this thing unhooked. La 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 la. All right. All right, boys and girls. Anyway, this thing is, man, one day I want to sell this, then I want to keep it. Then I want to sell it, then I want to keep it. And the reason I kind of want to keep it is it took, it was my COVID car, but it ended up taking several years to build, and I don't want to just, well, I guess I've owned it a while. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Y'all see that? And I've got space between that, and see, I had kind of torqued it down to where that bent in, and that didn't do any good, so I need to get a washer in there. So let me get my wrench on here. I think these are, they're 19, so let me grab my 19 stuff real quick. Pop that free. There you go. All right, guys, easy stuff. Now you can see I had, see how that was kind of bent in? I figured, well, let me just torque it down real hard and squeeze it in enough to keep that from rattling. It looks like the bottom one, I don't think I can get the bottom one any tighter. The problem is maybe that bolt's just, maybe the bolt's just too small. Maybe I also need to get a bigger bolt for it. No, that's about as tight as it's going to get, guys. That's in there pretty snug. I just need to get a washer in there. So let me see if I can hammer this out a little bit, which I probably can't. It's pretty thick metal. But I can try it anyway. There you go, that did a little bit. And let me see if I can get 2 washers in there. And that'll really help. Yeah, come on. Yeah, see, I got enough room in there. I think I can get 2 washers in there. So let me see what I got. Well, here's something to think about. I've got these rubber grommets. I wonder if adding a grommet on it on each side. Let me see here. Wow, that might do it, guys. Hang on. They'll probably, I know y'all think it'll probably wear out, and you're probably right. But man, that would really work if I could keep it that way. Let's see. Wow, look at that. Guys, I think I might have been onto something there. I had 2 rubber grommets. They're not hard rubber, so they're probably, it might break them, or they might wear out real quick. But let's just see. Let's just see how they do. Man, that might be accidentally did a good thing there. All right. Guys, that's not gonna rattle. Oh man, that would be a relief. This thing drives me bananas. Let's take a look under here. Everything's looking good. Underneath, I got a little bit of an oil leak somewhere. The car kind of pee-pees on the ground a little bit. It's not bad. But everything's looking pretty good. CVs look good, nothing looks loose. I had to replace the alternator. I replaced the alternator last weekend. I had a new one, it quit charging. The battery, it killed the battery. Got a new battery, put this on. I put a resistor in the exciter wire, so I'm not gonna burn it up anymore. Otherwise, this thing ran really great this morning. I think this winter, you know, I kind of hacked and cut and refitted this scoop, and I might pull this whole scoop off and use this as a template and build a whole new one that doesn't have all these lips and tape and, you know, and all this stuff. I mean, it looks okay and it works perfect. That's probably when you're like, dude, if it works, leave it the hell alone. But I can't leave shit alone. Let's see if this shock absorber rattles. Yep. Man, let's go see if we got a couple more grommets. That'd be kind of cool to knock it out on this side too. Hang on here. All right, guys, got the nut. Let me see if I can get 2 of these grommets in there. I'm really glad I had these. Normally, I'll throw this kind of extra stuff away. Let me get my big pry bar. See if I can bend those apart a little bit more. It's one of those deals. I try to save myself 30 seconds by not taking the tire off. And so I jack with this for an extra, I don't know, hour. All right, let's see how that works out. Y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm just putting a grommet on each side of that as an insulator. All right, that went in. See if I got a nut through it. All right, that's in. No, don't drop it. Don't drop it in there again. Hey, smart idea there. All right, let me crack it down a little bit. All right, that's not going anywhere, so I can make any noise. Got that done. Let's set this down, and maybe we can all go on a cruise and see how this thing does. It's probably gonna be so noisy y'all won't hear anything, but I'll give y'all my expert opinion. let's go ahead and take this thing for a ride and see how she does. All right. Hey, I messed my seat up. Y'all ready? Let's see if I can get some of me in here. Y'all may not want to see me. Well, I don't know. Buckle up. Hit my BMW, that would suck. My little 02, you know. See how quiet this thing's gonna be. Oh man, it's so much quieter. I hear some other stuff rattling. La 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 la. Oh my God, all these cars. And I'm one of them. I act like I'm not one of them. Okay, maybe overdid a little bit. But we're running good. It's not near as noisy. I don't know if y'all can see ahead. The thing gets up and moves really quick. Ready. Drop it down in first gear. That was 60 pretty quick. This thing will get up to about 100 and well, I guess about 90 in third gear. And then it kind of, it's got a, the fourth gear is a freeway flyer, so it's really tall. So you can cruise at 90, 95 in fourth gear, maybe 100. But it doesn't have much acceleration. But if you drop back down into third, that thing just goes. Y'all felt that? That's a fun car. Why the hell do I keep thinking about selling it once in a while? Something's wrong with me. I'm the guy that buys a car for 5,000 bucks. I put 15,000 in it and sell it for 7. So that's my luck. So maybe I just need to keep this thing. In fact, you know what, I will. I'm gonna keep it. Thanks, y'all made my mind up. I'm not gonna hook air conditioning in. I'm gonna put air conditioning in the Subaru powered one. Yeah, you get out of my way. I'm gonna put air conditioning in the Subaru powered Bug. That's gonna be like a really fun lowered street Bug. I keep toying with the idea of putting my buddy has he's got a 912 Porsche that he's redone. It's freaking looking amazing. But I was talking about air conditioning, and I recommended putting an electric air conditioning pump out of a Tesla. They're only like 350 bucks, and he did it. And he got an alternator from Power Bastards, 200 amp alternator. The air conditioner draws 35 amps. They'll be fine. The nice thing about it, you're like, yeah, well, if the alternator's on, it's gonna drag on the ends. Well, no shit. But you don't have to find a place to mount, and you know how it is, guys. You'll build a bracket to get your air conditioner pulleys to line up. That the bracket cracks because we're not engineers. Just because we make stuff fit, we're not engineers, and it just never works right. It's just in the way, and you're popping belts. With the electric one, you don't have to worry about fitment. You just stick it in somewhere, run your lines, and you're good. So it eases up a whole lot of install. So I'm going to end up doing the same. There's a point to what the hell I'm saying. I'm going to put the same system in the Subaru powered VW. In fact, I've got an evaporator right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. Y'all see that? Kind of see that evaporator right here? I'm going to use, it's brand new, never been use, obviously. I'm gonna put that in the, probably under the dash somewhere on the Subaru powered one. I don't want that thing to be air conditioned. It's gonna be a fun car, and I want to be able to drive in the summer when it's 7 billion degrees out and not sweat to death. So thanks for the ride, guys. Thanks for coming. I hear that. That's the cool part. What I like about this car, I've got that Davies Craig electric. Let me show y'all. I've got the Davies Craig electric water pump. Y'all can see right here. It doesn't blink like that in real life, but what happens is the car was at, I don't know, whatever temperature, and the water pump, when you turn the ignition off, the water pump and the fans kick on. Y'all can hear them. The fans and the water pump kick on. They stay on till the motor gets down to, I don't know, 160, and doesn't take it. See, it just kicked off. Alrighty, let's get this. My wrench, I mean my 1 13/16, which is what this actually is. Let me get this to, I want to do this 16 first. I got a 20 to 16 adapter on here because I had originally built this radiator. It was originally in the Baja up front, and hey, this, man, maybe it quit leaking on its own, and I just recreated my leak. Now there's not much water left. Anyway, I had originally had this radiator in the Baja up front, but I was having, man, I guess it was holding water. Anyway, let's see what's going on with it. I might put some grease on it. But anyway, I was afraid the warm air. So here's the deal. So in the Baja, I used to have this radiator. Let me explain this again. I used to have this radiator right there in the front, and then the fuel cell, it was actually a stock Volkswagen 12-gallon tank behind it. And I was having trouble with it running, and my assumption was the fuel was getting so hot, and it was just running hot anyway. So I decided, well, let me put the fuel tank in the car. So I bought another fuel cell, put it back behind the seats. That worked fine. But I was also always kind of nervous of having it in there, even though it was a FIA bladder or whatever, and it was still running hot. I'm like, well, damn. So that's when I put the radiator on back in the wing. I put the radiator back there in the wing, and then I put another fuel cell up here. I think I've shown you all that. Look at my crappy wiring. Anyway, so I put the fuel cell there. Went ahead and put the battery up here, and that's so beautiful. I gotta fix that mess. That's one of my winter projects that y'all get to enjoy doing with me. It's actually pretty embarrassing. You look at that wiring mess. Anyway, that radiator cools it. That's doing good. For this build, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and try to use a radiator up front and the fuel cell, because I see a lot of guys do that with no problems. My issue will be what size. I want to get as big a cell as I can in there. So once I get the body here, I'll take some measurements. I might have to cut a little bit. Anyway, we'll see. Anyway, let me get back on what I was doing in the first place, which is getting this working better. Well, I said I think I found out where it's leaking on this AM fitting here. Under here, there's a rough spot. So I'm gonna hit it with a little emery. Yeah, that's where it's leaking out right there. It just is a bump, like some dirt or something stuck on there. So I'm gonna clean that up, put it back together, and then we'll see kind of how it goes. Yep. Let me see if I can, right there at the bottom, here's a, Jim's not here yet. Oops, let me drop it on that. Jim's not here yet, so I'm going to work on this. We hit a little bit more sandpaper. There it is. Guys, right? I'm being very careful. I don't want to gouge it. It's aluminum soft. There was just a little imperfection on the underside I still can feel it. Let me get a little bit more sandpaper. So if you were in my cabinet, like if you were a piece of sandpaper, this is what I look like getting sandpaper. All right, let me get a piece here. Oh, I hear people in the house. I'm gonna see who the heck that's in my house. Let me go see. So maybe I'm getting broken into. Who dare come in my house? There's Jim's rocking chair. I bought him. Nobody. Oh, you know what? I bet I know what I heard. I bet I heard someone working at the neighbor's house. So let's spy on them again. Let me get you guys. Where the heck's my damn stand at? All right, let me get you guys set up on the stand and we're gonna peek over. Got y'all on the stand. Let's go see what that noise is about. See what these neighbors are up to. Y'all tell me what's going on. I heard some noise. What are they doing? All right, let's put this back on. All right, let's see if that leaks or not. So far, so good. It had a burr. The face of the fitting had a burr on it, like a metal burr, and it was letting water through. At least that's my theory. Yep, it's dry now, Jim. I hit it with a file and knocked the burr down, and now it's seating. It's getting a good seat. Okay, let me get some more water. All right. How we looking?
I don't think we got it, no. We've got water here, and it's leaking.
Yeah, if it's leaking again. Well, shoot.
Because we got water level up here.
Yeah, you know what's gonna have to happen? I'm gonna have to...
Is the leak on the radiator side or on the hose side?
It's on the radiator side, on the face of the red deal. I'm sorry, on the face of this fitting. It's got a burr on it or something, and it's letting water out. I mean, it'll work okay for now.
Yeah, but over time it'll drain your radiator.
Yeah, it'll work okay for testing purposes.
Yeah.
But when I go to install the radiator, I'm gonna have to get that fixed.
Yeah.
Well, the fitting's still leaking, so I'm gonna leave it for now. It's just there for getting the motor started. When I go to install it, I'll probably have to get a new AN fitting welded on there. It looks like that fitting's boogered up. But also, man, when I was driving, that thing was like, I was hanging on to it. It's got this little Allen head. You see that Allen head right there? Keeps coming loose. So I'm gonna pull it out real quick, put some Loctite blue on it. Alrighty, gonna put a little blue Loctite on it. Tiny drip. Bloop. Get that thing tightened up. Put that rubber thing over that doesn't fit. Alright, that's secure. So I am going to the rotary meet tonight. And this was that deal. Which car do I take? But I think I'm gonna take this one, A-hole. Last time I took A-hole out there was last year. Everybody loved it, and it was lifted. So A-hole, this car used to be a lifted Baja. And you talking about squirrely as hell on the road. And hell, I don't off-road. This is a city of 7 million people. So I lowered it, put 2.5-inch drop spindles. You can see I got nice fat sway bars. Lowered the back, put a big fat, y'all can see that. Big fat sway bar on there. Sucker handles pretty good. So yeah, I think I can take this tonight. I might pull it in the garage a little bit to get it cleaned up, or actually leave it out here and wash it. It's kind of dirty. Going looking all nice and neat for the show. Well guys, I drove A-hole out here to the Rotary event. This is my buddy's wide body. He's about 650 horsepower, big turbo. The sucker screams. There's A-hole. Some good looking cars out here. This one's got a super. Oh, we can see. Now this one over here's got a supercharger on it. Check it out. I've never seen one with this, a Camden supercharger. Just right there. That's a trip.
Because I have when I work on it, I have to that.
The size of that turbo is as big as the whole motor.
It's stock on a nice sports tune.
Yeah, just in the shop. Yeah. Come on, sit.
Zooming.
All right. Give me a series, right? So,
This goes a beautiful FD over here. Hang on. Right hand drive FD. Right there. Isn't that a good looking car? Good looking car. Check that out. It's a beauty, man. This is a gorgeous car. My friend's coming out in his Austin Healey with a 12A in it. And there, look at that baby right there. Girl's gonna steal the show. Next car, oh my God. Check it out. Looking good, isn't it? See, rotaries are fun. Well, Jim and I have been working on cars today. We went to my sister's and hung, get this, for two, like these screen doors that you can latch and they roll away. To hang 2 of those, a picture and 3 mirrors. These guys wanted $2,500. So Jim and I did it like in an hour. So anyway, so I went out to my sister's. It's about an hour drive each way. We did that. Then we worked on this a little bit. So what I got, where the hell's it at? This piece right here, this goes across. I'll show you where it goes. And it has some big brackets on it. But since I put the Subi motor in and trans, it goes from this shock mount to that one. It's a stiffener, and it fits in here real good, only it's got nowhere to mount here. So once I get the body on, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on there without anything on it. Once I got the body on, then we'll kind of figure it out. And also, finally found my banjo bolt. So I got the hydraulic clutch hooked up. Jim found the bolt. This is the old ECU out of my WRX I got totaled. Yeah, my neck still hurts. I got some shots or some injections in my neck. Didn't do anything, so now they're gonna do some kind of nerve thing where they burn nerves or whatever. Anyway, so lots going on. Might have found a body. Hopefully I'm putting these pans on when I get back from Germany. My girlfriend Rebecca and I are heading out to Germany Saturday, back on the 27th. And man, oh yeah, remember that sucker? Woo-wee, I had a great time at the show with that. It got a lot of attention. It's a cool vehicle. That's my baby right there, guys. I love this car. I love it, love it, love it. I can get these things put away and maybe back at it tomorrow. I don't know.